Welcome. We are going to show our estimates of DUC wells in Western Canada. I'm Kamran Imam, and I'll be doing the introduction to today's session. We'll be covering exploratory data analysis, followed by DUC identification methodology, and wrap it up with some useful insights. The data was provided by JWN Energy and Can Oils. Wellheader file had general information and had one record per well. Perforation treatment file had completion events, and production file had production history. Both files have multiple records per well. Geographical distribution of wells is presented here. BC wells do not have lat-long information and are not shown. Alberta has most wells, followed by Saskatchewan, while Viking is the most drilled formation. 2/3 of the wells are oil wells, and most of the wells are horizontal. Based on different attributes, there is a marked decline in the activity since 2017. Ignoring the COVID-19 shock, gas and condensate production, especially from Montney, has grown steadily, whereas oil production grew until 2018 and is being maintained since then. Viking is the most prolific oil producer, and Montney is the best gas and condensate producer. Duvernay is gas-rich with very little liquids production reported. Duvernay is the deepest formation, followed by Montney. However, Montney's TD distribution has the biggest spread and covers almost the entire range up to 8,000 meters. Viking is the shallowest, followed by Cardium. This fits well with our earlier discussion of Duvernay being a gas-bearing formation and Viking being the most prolific oil producer.
Hi, I'm Luis Acosta, and I will be showing you how we did the DUC identification. In the diagram, we observe the typical sequence of events in the life of a well. A well is called a DUC in the period right after its rig release, but before it has a completion date. While our data set already has for every well a license, spot, and rig release dates, it is missing completion and first production dates. These features had to be engineered using Trifacta, which is a public software for data wrangling. The input files were loaded and flows created. Each step in the flow consists of recipes to extract information from the perf treatment and well production files to put them in a usable format. The output tables from Trifacta were reloaded into Spotfire, now including the engineered dates and many other parameters like cumulative productions, which assisted in the DUC identification process. We can now estimate what status the wells had at any time. For example, the bar chart shows the estimated number of wells in each phase as of June 2015. We observe that the majority of the wells in the dataset at the time are classified as licensed but not yet drilled. If we move forward to June 2019, we can notice that most of the wells in the dataset are now classified as already producing. The following chart shows the monthly historical activity of new wells licensed, spotted, drilled, completed, and producing. It can be observed that there is a general decline in the activity levels in the last couple of years. Using the monthly counts, we calculated the cumulative inventory of wells in each phase. The top left chart shows the inventory of licensed but undrilled locations. This inventory ramped up very quickly in 2015 to about 1,000 wells, but since 2017, the numbers have been declining. Next to the right is the inventory of completed but not yet producing wells. Here we can observe the number picking up to 130 wells, showing some cyclical fluctuations during the springtime. Finally, the bottom chart shows the DUC inventory. While it reached a peak of about 600 wells in 2017, this number has also been declining. It is estimated that there are currently around 30 DUCs in the dataset, mostly located in BC, Alberta, in the Montney Play.
Thanks, Luis. The inventory of DUCs in Western Canada is very limited compared to the United States. Why is that? In the Montney, the condensate-rich window is the focus of drilling, and it is a narrow trend. There is seasonal equipment access, There is difficulty marketing produced methane and propane. In the Permian, the entire basin is condensate and oil rich. There is year-round drilling access. Extensive drilling leads to delays in sourcing pressure pumping equipment. There may be difficulty obtaining water for slick water fracks. Completed wells can be flared for 180 days, collecting just the condensate and oil. In BC, a 2,800 meter horizontal can convert 10 square miles of a 5-year license to a 10-year lease, holding mineral rights for 15 years. In Alberta, an 1,800 meter vertical well can convert 10 square miles of a 4-year license to a 5-year lease for a total of 9 years. There is not a strong impetus to drill to retain oil and gas rights. In Texas, leases are often as short as 2 years, and 1 well is required to retain 1 square mile. There is a strong impetus to drill to retain oil and gas rights. So in the Permian Basin, there are nearly 3,500 DUC wells as of June 2020, but it does represent $25 billion of drilling without cash flow. Implications for Canada are, for Canadian governments, facilitating the Asian export of LNG is critical. There will be subdued royalties for the short term. For operators, it is difficult to show growth, and a lack of growth leads to investor apathy. For service providers, the need for drilling and completion services will be subdued. For investors, consolidation of the operators will be helpful. Acquisition of distressed debt as the senior asset class may be the best investment.